There is a visualization that is helpful to open the heart. How many of you have had children? I want you to remember your baby, about 6 months old, in your arms. About that sweet time when the baby is no longer awake all night and keeping you up, about when it sleeps through the night but isn't running around yet, the sweet time. And your baby reaches up with its little hand and touches your face. Remember that feeling of openness, of just unequivocal love? All beings have at some point been your baby. How have you forgotten them? How have you stopped loving them? This includes the guy who beat you out for the parking space last week. I want you to remember your mother back in the sweet time when you were little and she could do no wrong and she was your protector and she was the source of all good and utterly safe and could accomplish anything. Remember when you were 2 and felt that way, or 1 or 3 when you were little? Remember the feel of your mother's lap? The smell of her hair? The touch of her face? All beings have at some point been your mother. When you shut yourself down and just want to get yours for you, but what about Mom? And what about your babies? Using this visualization to allow yourself to at least intellectually recognize that all beings have loved you and trusted you and depended on you. And that you have loved, trusted, and depended on all beings. Even if they're currently being the mangy stray dog and you're currently being the corporate executive. That will pass. The dog will die, the executive will retire. That is not a permanent state of affairs. By this method, allow your heart to relax its defenses without abandoning common sense. This doesn't mean don't lock your car when you park downtown. This means open your heart, not your door. This is about inside. We try to fake that we have the inside bodhisattva by acting like it on the outside, and it rarely goes well. Look at me, I'm a bodhisattva. Look at me, how generous I am. I just gave away the grocery money, my wife's going to kill me. Instead, let it be in your heart. And let it be first in your heart and move from your heart to your actions. Do not attempt to demonstrate bodhicitta more than you can. Common sense. We have to say this among Westerners. With Tibetans it goes without saying, but there have been some miscommunications throughout history where common sense was not mentioned because it goes without saying. And people, being about as creative as 14-year-old kids in chemistry class, can amazingly make a mess. Do you understand here what I'm saying? The difference between feeling and trying to act as if you feel. Relax your heart. We spend a lot of time maintaining the veneer of ourself. Self-image. You dress in the kind of clothes you would wear. You cut your hair in the kind of haircut you would have. You're maintaining a sense of self, and you put a lot of energy into this. Not only physically in what you wear and how you hold yourself, comb your hair and all of this, but in how you think. Self-comparison. We spend a lot of time walking in somewhere and comparing ourselves to others. Are we as good? And depending on what kind of day you're having, the answer will be yes or no. It's not an external reality. When you're in a confident mood, you feel as good as others. When you are in a non-confident mood, you don't feel as good as others. But that comparison, that self-protection, that wrapping our energy channels around ourselves into a coil goes on constantly. And it keeps our attention focused very narrowly. Our attention, our awareness, our rigpa is focused extremely narrowly on ourselves, our life, our house, our family, our friends, our job. And you don't care that much what's going on in Borneo. Narrow focus. You're holding your reality in. This is part of your box. This is part of the chasing and fleeing. The box of self and the fear for self and the hope for self. The more you can open your heart, the easier it will be to shift your attention beyond this. Remember in the beginning I said that you have Buddha nature inherent in you? Otherwise it would wear off. Well, to shift your attention from your nearby, your narrow blinders view on your thoughts, your feelings, and your perceptions. What you see, touch, taste, hear, think, smell, feel about it all. That's where your attention is all the time. Every one of us. That's not where your Buddha nature is. And as long as that is a tight holding out of fear of something harming self, out of hope for gain for self, it will be very hard to shift your attention from it. Your reality requires vast amounts of maintenance. And you maintain it. The antidote to this tightness is bodhicitta. I have heard it translated as compassion, eternal love, open love. The literal Tibetan word is ninji. Ning is heart. Ji is big, greatest of. Great-heartedness. That's not pity. That hasn't even a streak of pity in it. It has courage in it. It has open-mindedness in it. So do not confuse ninji with pity. Open-heartedness, open-mindedness, great-heartedness is your literal translation. By the practice of the 6 paramitas, you can train in this. And that is a teaching that I recommend, but not the one I am giving tonight. Tonight we are speaking about Dzogchen, the fast method to transcend all methods, the immediate not doing of the now, which brings you face to face with your own Buddha nature in an instant. It might be this instant. Look at your mind. Look right at your own innate Buddha nature. Look at that aspect which neither comes nor goes, which is neither here nor there, which is not in any conceivable direction. If you saw it without any instructions about how to shift your attention, just from my pointing out that it is there, you should be completely satisfied and require no further instruction. If that is not the case, let me teach you a method to shift your attention. Our world, our universe, for us, subjectively, is made of our perceptions, of the eye organ, color and shape, of the ear organ, sound, of the nose organ, scent, of the tongue organ, taste, of the touch organ, tactile, of the yi organ, feelings, the sensation of feelings. Tibetans go with 6 senses. The 6th one's called a yi. In this case, your senses experience sensations. Look, the moment your eyes experience the sensation of this, you named it. Something. Cup. Blue cup, cup of water, cup of vodka, whatever you thought it was, beer. But you named it. And then you felt something about it. Is it a nice cup? Is it the Lama's cup? Do you like that the Lama has a cup? Do you wish you had a cup of water yourself? Subtle, there's not big feelings on a cup, but there's some there. Sensation, thought, naming, describing. Soon as you think cup, this is all tangled in with every cup you've ever seen in your life. Soon as you think blue or green, or there's a name for this